Good evening, guys, and welcome along once again to Limitless DxT coverage of Limitless Formula Racing, Tuesday night racing for round 14, the Russian Grand Prix. And of course, I'm here with Lee tonight. How are you doing, Lee?
I'm doing good. Looking forward to this race. It's always provides a bit of drama, to be honest.
It can do. It can throw up some thrills and spills, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Unfortunately, we haven't got a full grid tonight. We've got 16, and the first quality session will be more like a practice session tonight. We had a few drivers had to back out at the last minute. Milan Massimo is the man with the quali ban, and yeah, so we'll just see these guys running around a little bit on this Sochi circuit, Lee, and yeah, unfortunately we haven't got Tim, who may turn up in qualifying. We're not too sure. Fortunately, we haven't got that quali glitch anymore, Glebe, I would think, anymore, Lee. Apart from the fact they start from the back now.
Yeah, that's the only problem. Even if they get into Q2, there's only 14 that go through then.
Yeah.
You know, so it is a bit weird. You know, and even people who are disqualified or such, they end up getting put ahead of them when it should be the disqualified people furthest at the back. So it's a weird one, to be honest.
It is a bit of a strange one, but at least we don't have to reset the grid at the start. We're on board with King Panda in the Alfa Romeo, and that's on their outlaps, Lee. Maybe we should talk about what is starting on Sunday night on Limitless instead of obviously with Sunday night racing finishing and going on to hopefully bigger and better things with obviously what Cody said last night with the Formula Super League starting on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually kind of excited for it, to be honest. I mean, getting the challenge of different leagues competing against each other to see who's quickest, really, who is the Super League, and yeah. It's going to be good, I think.
Hopefully it will be, and of course people will be wondering, it is a bit of a gimmick on what happened in football just a few weeks ago with obviously the controversial Euro Super League. It obviously isn't going to happen, but obviously this is fully going ahead, and I think it was the most ideal name for what is actually about to happen. So thank you Euro Super League for giving us the name and not actually going on, because that was a pretty stupid idea what they were going to do in football. But anyway, yeah, the Super League, it'll be brilliant. Obviously it's quite like, talking about football, it's quite like a football style competition with a 7v7 on track from your league, and it'll be played out like that. There's points from first place to 14th, with 1 point separating everyone, with 14 points for the leader, for the winner, and 1 point for final place. 1 point for pole position, 1 point for fastest lap from 1 to 14, and you'll get 3 points for the win of your overall score. Just like in football, 1 point for a draw and 0 for a loss, as we see King Panda doing an invalidation there in the end of sector 1. And obviously going back, we'll just the driver points may determine your eventual score in the group or knockout stages, because they will be taken into account if there is a draw in place on the 3 points scored for wins and 1 point for a draw. So yeah, that's all you really need to know for now, and we'll just see how it goes from Sunday night. But we'll get back to Tuesday night, Lee, and I said King Panda has invalidated his lap time on board with Phoenix in the Ferrari, and he said about half an hour ago he's got a bit of a problem with his shoulder and arm, so he's going to try and fight through it and see if he can race, but we may not see him take part in the whole race, and I wouldn't blame him too much for that. Looks like we've got a Williams who's going to be the next driver to set a lap, and he's invalidated his lap also. I think we've got Mars as well, actually, who is coming around the final corner, also invalidated his lap lead. They're all struggling to keep it on the black stuff at the minute.
I think if Collins is the first to set.
That definitely is a lot of threes. We have had, it looks like, sorry, I've just got something come up on my screen, just spare me a second. Yeah, we've got 130.8 for Fatality and a 32.3 for Judge Santi in the Alpha Tauri. Just having a look, I think there may be the Ferrari of Phoenix coming around the final corner now to set another lap time in Q1, goes third fastest, a 32.3 again, so just a few thousandths off Judge Santi there. These three drivers between Judd and Drismic are pretty close, with Cons holding up the rear and with Rabbi going in second with a 31.9. Still a big gap to and Carl just smashes that time by 0.3. So go on.
Panda coming around the penultimate corner. Let's see what time is he going to set after validating his first lap. Goes 4th.
32.2, so at the top of the 32s for the time being. We've had Mars now set a lap in the 31s again, so there's a big gap between the top two and everyone else, and Gods is just slotted in there as well with a 31.5, also going right next to his CRX Esports teammate there. So obviously we haven't had Milan, obviously not going to set a time. It's talking about Milan. He's just retired from the session. So I said this is more of a practice session for the next 11 minutes and a little bit, and then we'll get into Q2 where people will start being knocked out. We'll have 5 drivers knocked out. I haven't had Dark Stomper come out of the pits yet, Lee. And H. Bosworth is on the lap with Panda getting out of the way quite nicely there with a big invalidation from H. Bosworth as well, getting too greedy on the apex onto the start finish, onto the second DRS straightly.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I hope he may have gotten Mars's way, but I'm not sure if Mars is on the lap or not. I don't think he is.
Just seen Beckett start a lap now, Lee. See how he does on the run down to turn 2. Go on. Oh, he gets away with that one.
That was lucky there.
I think he must have done a big lift through turn 3 there and around turn 4 and into turn 5. Quite a quick right-hander and down the hill. Just there is actually in real life there is a little slope there into turn 6 as he goes very greedy on the exit and was able, I think he must have lifted there as well, Lee, not to get invalidation there as he's coming round these final few corners towards the DRS straight again as he's coming up to the DRS line now. This is just before that little Aramco bridge as he's coming down towards this braking zone at the end of the DRS straight. It's quite a tricky braking zone here, Lee, into this left, into the right. It's quite hard to actually get an overtake done there as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember when I used to play the older games, and what I'd do is, Beckett kind of lost it there, going a bit too greedy on the curve. But yeah, I remember when the track first came onto the calendar, I would shut the DRS early to stop us from sliding going into the corner. So it is a bit shaky and a bit weird at times. I'd say difficult for overtaking, I would think.
I'm sure it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult for overtaking, to be fair. And we did see Beckett finish that lap as we were talking about overtaking, and he did a 32.913. Dark Stompers still not set a lap time here, Lee. And obviously, even though we can pretty comfortably say he would get through, well, of course he will get through regardless of setting a lap. But in any case, he could invalidate a lap time, Lee. And he wouldn't go through with no lap time, of course.
Yeah, well, got a message saying that he won't be able to do qualifying, unfortunately, so just for the time being, but he'll be here for the rest, hopefully. I hope.
Okay, brilliant. Well, let's hope so. We have seen Dark Stomper go from the last to first challenge at Austria. I think that was about round 8, I think, Austria. And that was quite a good race. That was mixed conditions, I seem to remember, Lee, that day.
Yeah, it was, I think it was raining at the start, if I remember.
I think it was, yeah, and there was a couple of safety cars, and he pulled it all together towards the end, of course. And he got his... he got another race win, of course, and he's firmly in the lead at the moment. Got Fatality on an outlap and Gods on an outlap, and Phoenix as well, Fatality's teammate. And we're just seeing Gods on his outlap. He hasn't validated his lap time. It's validated his outlap, but that doesn't matter, of course. And sometimes it is a good idea to kind of push the limits on your outlap just to see, but obviously you've got to find that balance between taking too much wear out of those tyres.
Big walk up there at turn 2 and 3, but coming through 3 went and got a bit of loss of traction from the curb there, and then I've put it into the wall, so that was lucky.
He is seriously down on his time as well. It's no matter though, of course, because everyone is going to get through into the second part of qualifying, and we don't think we're going to see Dark Stomper do a lap in the next 6 minutes and 15 seconds. So yeah, so we're just seeing these guys run rounds, and fortunately we haven't seen low numbers like this for quite a while, to be fair. In Tuesday we did have a few drivers not partaking. Of course, there's a couple of drivers not partaking because of Ramadan as well, of course. Which I found out earlier on.
That on just now, yeah.
Is that going on now? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Alright, I thought that was a few weeks ago or something.
No, is it Matt? Yeah, it's now. I'm pretty sure. Anyway. Not my strong topic, religion, but we'll get back to a topic I am more strong at, is this topic, as we're going and seeing Cons spin into the wall on his outlap, Lee, and he's got to be careful not to... And he hits the wall again, and he's struggling to get out of this situation. Yeah, there we go. He's sorted himself out now, and he has got wing damage. He's going to get through into Q2, of course, and he did race last night, Monday night. So you feel, especially when he's still starting on the wheel, any practice he can get is good practice for Kieran, and he did all right in qualifying, didn't he? He got himself into Q3 last night, Texas Grand Prix. That was a bit of an odd race last night. The USA Short, it'll be here for next week for these guys, so we've already had a taste of what it's like, and time penalties are plenty, eh?
Especially for me. Unfortunately, I just got too many.
And it's only that little section of 4 corners as well.
Like, just think of it this way, it was half of a lap of Austria, pretty much.
Well, no, it was... Yeah.
No, the amount of penalties that I accumulated over that
and it's about race. And it's about the same distance as Austria as well, Lee.
Yeah.
So...
And it was just torture.
Anyway, go check that out if you want... If you want, yeah, it was quite fun actually. To be fair, it did feel like a completely different circuit, believe it or not. Especially not so much in 5-lap races, I don't think, but in a league race, it felt very different. So it is an interesting challenge. I'm looking forward to the Bahrain Outer Circuit being added to 2021 this year, of course, in a couple of months' time. So looking at drivers, obviously, not really too much to talk about at the minute. Nothing really going on. I've got some drivers on laps, but obviously no tension on the point of anyone going out in this session, of course, apart from Milan and looking like Dark Stomper as well, as you see Gods cutting turn 6 early quite a lot there and invalidating his lap time. Everyone's struggling with track limits at Sochi, but it is one of those tracks that is it invites you to sort of cut the corner, I feel.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's just misleading, I would say. You know, with it being like no gravel or anything like that, or no grass, it kind of, like you said, it lures you in and gives you like a false sense of security. That's the way I would describe it, to be honest. Like, especially like you say, USA, but Russia as well.
Yeah, Russia's another one of these Tilka circuits, and it's funny with Tilka. It's personally for me, as you well know, I absolutely can't stand Russia. I think it's horrendous. It's just. I thought Abu Dhabi was bad, but this just took it to a whole new level. This is just. But that's my opinion on it. But then there's other tracks, like I know other people, like Ferret wouldn't agree with me with this, saying that I like USA. I think that's a good Tilka track. I think Malaysia is a good Tilka track. I think Bahrain is a good Tilka track. China is a good Tilka track.
Bahrain Tilka track, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh right, I never even knew that.
Yeah.
I'd say that was one of his best then.
Turkey, of course, which unfortunately we found out today or yesterday that it's not going to be in 21, but it's kind of to be expected, I think. But it's a shame about Canada. I do love a bit of Montreal. He always throws up a good race, but let's hope that tarmac Lee is a little bit better this year for Turkey at least.
Yeah, to be honest, it stirred up a lot of drama. I mean, Bottas won like how many times?
Quite a few, and turn 8 was a struggle.
Like at one point I just thought he was doing donuts. Like, it was that bad. I was like, what the hell? Like, when this is a guy that's in like a world class team and you're like, how is this happening? And yet you had other cars that were handling it perfect.
Yeah, I know. I suppose it's it came a lot down to, I think, I don't really know. That race was it was a bit of a bonkers race, to be honest. I mean, I thought it was going to be crazy enough if it was dry, I think, with how strange the asphalt was. But
yeah, cool.
But it just threw in a whole different kettle of fish, the rain, to be honest. It made it great, to be fair. It's one of the most memorable ones from last year. Just like Portimao, which I felt was a little bit of a letdown this year compared to last year. Last year was a bit of a cracker, but you don't know whether it's just one of those things or if it was the mixed weather last year that made it really good. Don't know, do you? So, but I hope it comes back again at least, because I think having 2 runs at it doesn't mean it's a bad or a good track. You know what I mean?
Mhm. I mean, sometimes I've seen races where it's absolutely boring, right? And then the next year it's amazing. I was almost about to swear there. So yeah, it just depends on the day, on what happens.
Yeah.
Really.
I tell you what.
I remember Montreal in 2011.
Yeah, no, very true. I tell you what, if I've got a few people watching along with us, Lee, and if anyone wants to put in the comments below if they want Portimao to come back next year, or if they just thought it was a bit rubbish this year, so they don't want it back, let us know. Personally, I'd rather like if I had to pick between having a track off, I think what we're going to this week, I would replace it with. I think I would replace Portugal with Spain, to be honest. But
yeah, to be honest, I don't think Spain should be on the calendar. I think that should just be solely as a test track. I'm not saying that Spain shouldn't have a track, but if they're going to use it, they shouldn't be using the test track as an actual track.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah, anyway, not losing anyone from this session, bar Milan Massimo and Dark Stomper, which actually Milan Massimo's got away with that. He's not actually starting at the back of the grid, so he does gain a place. And the top 3 are Carl, Fatality and Gods. So anyway, now we're getting into the more serious business, Lee, but we're only going to have 13 in this... no, 14 in this session, sorry. Still with us, Lee?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, okay. And yeah, anyway, we're in now with 15 minutes in this session. We're now just under because the clock has started ticking. So we should see people coming out a little bit quicker this time, especially because there are going to be drivers knocked out.
So
it looks like we have Milan Massimo in the session, which is very strange. So Milan's just going to have to retire again from the session, which is a bit strange. So we will have 14. There we go. Milan's retired now, and he will definitely be out of the session. So anyway, he'll be starting 15th, and we have 14 drivers in this session as Milan has a quali ban, as we said a little earlier on. So we've got some drivers coming out on track now, Lee.
Yeah, King Fatal Panda is first out onto the track. And this is coming along turn 5 there. So he'll be the first to set a lap, most likely.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will. We've got Cons coming round turn 5. We'll see if he can get himself into Q3 for the second night in a row on the medium tyres. So he is having a little pop at it, Lee. He's not taking it easy. This is just sanity. He's done a fastest lap of a 32.3. I think we just ignore that because no one's actually started their lap. I think that's just a little glitch for the minute. And you surprised me, a glitch in a Codemasters game. Shock. As just seeing all these guys on outlaps at the moment. And of course, if you're not going to be new to this, but I'll just say it every week, as I say it every week, what tyres you set in Q2 in the top 10, you will start for the race. So you will see, as I said a second ago, the medium tyres, because obviously people may want to start on those tyres, and sometimes it is the best of both worlds to start on the medium tyres. And Sochi can be a track where it's all about strategy, I think.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it could. It's one of them tracks it's hard to overtake on at times, but it's just that straight you have to worry about, really.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We've seen Avanash coming in to turn 2 and 3, because turn 1 is that slight kink on the start-finish straights. The first braking zone is turn 2, as we're coming around turn 4. Now the flat-out left-hander into the right. As I said, it's quite tricky to get that corner right, and Avanash has not got the corner right, as he's invalidated on the exit, and it really was touch and go on the exit there, and sometimes you feel like the game can be a little bit harsh on you. Got Cons, it looks like, having trouble. Look like there, Drizmic is just behind him. Or is it Rabbi? I'm not too sure. No, sorry, it's Rabbi who's Cons gets out of the way. He must have not been going fast enough or invalidated his lap time. So we will stay with Rabbi for the minute, Lee. Or maybe not, actually. We'll go to King Panda. He's just about to finish his first lap and be the first man to finish a lap.
Yeah, I've been watching him. He seems to have been alright, but a wee bit shaky at times. But is this going to be enough to get him through? 133.6 dead.
33.6 dead. We're going to see a Rabbi now coming around the penultimate corner and into the final corner. Be careful on the exit here not to impede track limits as he goes fast. It's 33.2, almost 4 tenths faster than King Panda, and Gods goes faster than that again, but only justly. Oh, sorry, not only just, I could have read that wrong. 30.4 when he was on the soft tyres, and Gods is done a 32.2. So we're just seeing Mars now coming round the final few corners, and he's diving into the pit lane, Lee.
That's a strange one.
He may have invalidated his lap time, of course, but if he had done that, he would have come into the pits. Maybe he made a big mistake. I'm not too sure. Didn't catch that exactly. We got fatality on a lap. His cons on a lap as well. Yeah, just behind him, but he's just invalidated his lap time, struggling on the Sochi circuit. Oh, of course. Happy birthday, Kieran. Don't know how old you are today, but he is racing on his birthday. I did actually completely forget about that, so do apologise, mate.
Oh, happy birthday, mate.
Always we see fatality coming into the final part of Sector 2, and he's had an incident there with another driver. I'm not too sure who it was. I think it was Drismic. And, he's not going to be happy about that, as he's just made his way back on the circuit. That was seriously sketchy with Drismic right in on the racing line there, and there could easily be a penalty coming his way as he actually goes around the final corner and then dives into the pit lane, or sorry, the Parkman corner. We had a few comments come in, Lee.
I was in under live, the message redacted, and apparently the commentators tonight are better than last.
So good.
Right.
What did you say?
Sorry,
What did you say?
but apparently he said the commentators tonight are so much better than last night. So.
Oh, don't be horrible about my curly. No. Anyway, thank you. But I don't think Curly and Meat will appreciate that too much. Who said that?
I felt so wrong. That was Alan Hunter.
Oh dear.
Oh, I felt weird reading that out there. Sorry, Curly Meat. Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah, exactly the right message. You're seeing cons on a lap. We'll stick back to this. Got H. Bosworth, who's joined the session a little bit late. Got Mars getting nicely out the way there. Got some more comments coming in. Maybe we'll stick with cons for the final few corners of this lap, coming round into the final chicane on the lap, which is a really tricky part of the circuit, coming round the final two corners now into the final corner. Easy on track limits on exit, goes 9th fastest. He has got himself into the top 10, but he's the final runner to set a time at the moment, so he is running up the rear at the moment. Mars on a lap now, trying to see if he can set a better when he did go into the pits on those soft tyres earlier on, and he looked, oh sorry, Avanash is the other driver on a lap down the second DRS straight. I keep wanting to say start finish straight today, Lee. I don't know why. Avanash gone purple, sector 2 on those medium tyres under the bridge, out of that right hander up to the left right chicane. Really tricky chicane here.
Yeah, it's easy. If you go too deep, you lost the car. If you go too wide, you get a poor entry into the right hander. See Avanash.
Yes. Yeah, 133.503. So not safe with that. We've only had 3 drivers in the top 10. Well, 3 drivers actually overall set soft times, and they're running first to third at the minute, and that's Carl, Judd Santi, the 2 Alpha Tauri teammates, and the Williams at Gods in third place, with Beckett 4th fastest on the mediums. Of course, with Beckett getting his first podium last week, Lee, and he had quite a good drive. Cons retired from the session, so he's out in Q2 for most likely. It looks like he has had an incident there at the start of Sector 3. So it does look like he will be out in this session, though. Because I see it very unlikely that 3 drivers behind him are not going to set a lap time.
He's
And,
in 11th now, so...
Oh yeah, sorry, he's in 11th, so he's definitely out in Q2, so that's unfortunate for Cons. Seeing fatality down to turn 2, the Ferrari man cutting the corner pretty nicely on both turns 2 and 3. Around turn 4, taking a really tight line through turn 4. Got a Renault Mars just up ahead of him, and just gets out of the way just in time. Through sector 1 he comes, fastest in sector 1 on those soft tyres, doesn't invalidate out of turn 6 there, into 7, takes a nice cut of the corner there, Lee, really extracting the limits of the track, and round 8 and into 9 on to the DRS straight, where he's going to see top speeds of around 200 miles an hour, but maybe a little bit faster than that as we get in the 200 mile an hour mark now. About 205 when he hits the brakes, 204 and he goes in to turn 10 and 11. Through turns 10 and 11, through 12 and 13, and cuts the corner and ruins his soft time. He has got enough time to do another lap, and he is at the pit exit, but he's going to go around again, Lee. He's got enough battery, I think, to do another lap.
Yeah, most likely.
And he is going again. We'll stick off him for a second because we've got H. Bosworth on a lap, one of our LFR Formula Super League drivers, Lee, and they've been performing quite consistently well in the top 10 on Tuesday all season, and been getting progressively better and better.
Yeah, I mean, he's from the start, every single race there, he's getting better and just improving upon the mistakes he made in the previous race.
And he dives into the pits. I think he's just going to go straight for a set of softs now, Lee. I don't think he thinks he can get through with the time he was about to set, and that would have been his last time he could set, so maybe he's just trying to ensure he gets into the top 10. Marshall just started his lap. Fatality is on a lap and invalidated again, and is going to be out in Q2 unless he's got enough fuel, which I highly doubt he's going to have enough. Marshall is on his lap. It was a nice camera shot from the heli cam there, and coming through turn 5 towards turn 6 goes purple sector 1, it says. He did 33.4, invalidates though out of turn 6, and said drivers struggling. Cons might be starting P11 as it stands, Lee.
Yeah, by the looks of things, it's
maybe what I said was wrong, even though he isn't going to start in the top 10, but he hasn't dropped any more positions.
Might be in the perfect position, to be honest.
Yeah, he very well might be, to be honest. Fatality is going again, but used a lot of wear on these tyres, Lee.
Yeah, but in the last couple of laps he was taking it easy, but like you said, it's still going to have...
Well, maybe it's even worth if he hasn't got enough fuel to run in max, that he might be in standard, I don't know, and just trying to set some sort of lap and seeing if he can beat Cons, and because he potentially still could.
Maybe.
As he goes wide, invalidates once again, and you can see and hear the frustration there in the gear shifters there. He's really annoyed and can't hook the lap up, and he's really been struggling in qualifying for quite a few weeks, I think, Lee.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of the time he ends up making it up in the race, so...
Yeah, but he doesn't want to be... it's what I'd like to call him a trade. He's doing a bit of an Alex Albon, is he not?
Well, we're just going to have to wait and see, really. By the looks of things, he's just diving into the pits.
Yeah, so he's definitely not got enough time left, and Marshall is on his lap, and we'll just see how close. Yeah, H. Bosworth's coming around the final corner, So he's going to be able to set another lap. So it's only fatality, yeah, so it's only the bottom 2 drivers now in the top 10, the 2 Mercedes, who are at risk now.
Yeah, I notice Phoenix and Rabbi are going out again.
But they don't really need to. Rabbi now has moved himself up to second, so he's definitely safe. So it's Phoenix and Drismic who are in danger now, as we see I Marshall coming round the final corner and see if he can get that 1 minute into that time. Sorry, it's the 5th fastest, knocks Drismic down to 11th, and he's out in Q2 as he's in the garage as that happened. We've got H. Bosworth on his lap, yet to set a time. He's feeling the pressure here, Lee, and you've been in this situation quite a few times.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I've done that quite a few times, just left it to the last minute really, and yeah, it's intense.
He's done a 1:04 in sector 2. It does say going purple, struggling on power through turn 12 and through 13, 14, and got a pretty nice exit there, better than he did last time when he dived into the pits through the penultimate into the final, lock up into the final, and goes through, goes third, fastest, 31.5, knocks Phoenix out, but he is on a lap, and it was good he went out on a lap, Lee, because he was not safe. And he's diving into the pits, it looks like, yes, and he's out in Q2.
I think it's starting to rain a wee bit either.
It does look like it's clouding over a little bit. If any of the drivers actually can tell us what the weather is like in the race, please do let us know. And the rain has now come, Lee.
Yep. So it's going to be a wet Q3, I think.
That's what it's looking like.
This will be quite interesting to see how things go, and if it's a dry race, then well, it is a dry race actually. Could tell that now.
That's what I wanted to know, actually. Anyway, sorry, Lee, just to cut you off, so we'll just go through the Q2 classifications. So the drivers we're losing from the session, we're losing 5 once again because Milan got through into Q2. Phoenix, Drismic, Cons, Fatality, and Milan Massimo. In the top 3 of Q2 are Carl, Rabbi, and H. Bosworth.
Yeah, I mean, look at the gap between Avinash and Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix was like less than 2 thousandths of a second. To
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it?
200ths of a second, sorry. Yeah.
But that's racing, isn't it? That's sport in general, I suppose. You get a last-minute goal in the 94th minute, or get knocked out in Q2 by a couple of thousandths of a second. It's just one of those things. It's the beauty of sport, isn't it?
Yep. So let's see, it's absolutely lashing it down right now. Let's see, is it going to be intermediates or the full wets that the guys are going to go out on? Intermediate tyres.
Yeah, so it's looking like we have a very tasty Q3 coming up for you here. As you're seeing the guys coming out on intermediate tyres, we ride on board with Mars and seeing the Williams of, not too sure actually if that was Gods or it was Gods. I was going to say Gods or Iron Marshall, but it was Gods. We have had a couple more comments actually, Lou, about a minute ago.
Just saying, Fatality saying good luck to the Q3 participants. Carl saying it's going to be dry.
So, just out of curiosity, guys, in the comments, how many people here are watching from the FSL server and just checking out some of the competition. I am interested to know, because I put the post out in the FSL server.
Right.
Actually, I'll tell you what, Lee, maybe you should put a post out in there just before the race starts if anyone wants to watch it, and say that LFR Racing. Just put a link to the live stream. It's called Race Live Stream. Anyway, back to Q3 in the wet. It's Sochi, and no action to speak of yet, as they're all on out laps. And I'm just trying to look to see who's going to be the first man to start a lap. It's looking like it's Avinash, is my guess. And these conditions, they're looking pretty tricky.
Yeah, I think it may be wet soon.
Not sure, so they will need to get their times in pretty quickly in that case, and Avinash has got the best of the conditions, Lee.
Ooh. Did you jump a wee bit there for me?
Just a tiny bit. It's the first time I've been on board with him a few times. He's not actually done it since he's not raced with us for a while. Mars is now on a lap, and just talking about commentator's curse, or what, Lee?
Yeah. What you gonna do that for?
As he's actually gone into the pit, so at least he's not on track. That's very strange. Anyway, we'll get back to the action unfolding in this wet quali session. So we might see maybe a different front row, different pole Sicily. I can't remember if we ever had a Q3 wet session in TNR. I don't think we have.
Not sure.
Nothing springs to mind. We have had quite a few races. We are on round 14. But we'll have to wait and see. Of course, third place here is a pretty good spot to be in at Sochi, because you get a nice tow down towards turn 2, with first place being directly ahead of you.
Oh yeah, with it being a long stay, like the two tracks I would compare, like start-finish straights, would be Mexico and Russia.
Yeah.
Where, like, third place is possibly the best place.
Depending on how good it is. We see Avinash joined back into session, so that's good. He wasn't out for very long. Mars getting a bit risky on those track limits, and was able to keep it in shape and on the very wet black stuff now. Actually, it's getting wetter and wetter out there, Lee. As I said, it might go to wet tyres soon, and these drivers setting laps. Carl is gone fastest with Gods in second, Mars in third, Rawai goes fourth. These times pretty close, they're all in the 44s. But we don't know how these conditions are going to change, if they're going to sort of stabilise in these conditions, or it may even be a very quick shower there, you don't know.
I don't think it's going to be a shower. I think it's going to be getting heavier.
Beckett's gone 6th fastest, and his time goes with what you say there, Lee. Sorry, just a little tickle in the throat there. Yeah, no, I was saying Beckett did 45, almost a second slower than Rabbi, so I don't know if that was a mistake or if that's the conditions starting to play a factor. Got H. Bosworth on the lap, says he's gone fastest in sector 1, but as we do say every week, we're never to trust the track map sector timings. I hope in next game day we get those actual colours they get in real life, you know, the little qualifying box they get with their times coming up.
Yeah,
that'd be really good to see. I'm sure they'd be able to do that somehow. Maybe they will, because spectator mode on F1 is not the greatest. It could be improved quite a bit. But anyway, less of the negative. As you see, Gods goes fastest with a positive time there, taking him faster again, with Mars going in second, so following close behind, but not so close on the times now, Lee, and he's around 6/10 faster than the next man.
As you see, Judge Santi improving.
So it's Alpha Tauri 3-4 with H. Bosworth going second fastest on the front row at the moment, and he's never been on the front row in Tuesday night racing. Started every single race, and he hits the wall, and he wasn't paying attention as we see carbon fibre flying, and I think he was a little bit ecstatic about his second place there, Lee, and lost a little bit of focus there, maybe.
Yeah, sorry.
Sweetie Mike, if you got a little bit of it, I literally just had that as well. Avalanche coming through the final corner, start his lap. Got King Panda who's invalidated his lap.
So let's see. We've got Beckett who's on a lap.
Got Marshall going very slowly, and King Panda just going past. I think he did that just to let faster drivers through, and seeing Panda go through 2 and 3, turns 2 and 3 even, very nicely there. Around turn 4, it's just flat still by the looks of things. These conditions, they seem to be stabilising a little bit, Lee.
Oh, I think Judge Santi's into the wall.
So good to Judge Santi. He's can't see a proper off-board yet. We've got the on-board camera as we see it now. He's not got any damage.
He must have just spun out there. Looks of things. I just seen him into the wall and didn't get a good camera shot. Let's see. Beckett's on a lap. Oh, Avinash is around as well.
And everyone's starting to struggle with 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the session. And everyone is really starting to struggle. We're just seeing Panda cut over the chicane a little bit there. Looking like he's going to go into the pits. Just got enough time, I think, to get back out. But of course, the weather conditions are wet. He's struggling to get into the pit lane. And went back on the track there, Lee.
Yeah, he was really struggling there. But I'm Marshall, he's continuing on with a lot. But I'm not sure. I think it might be getting into wet territory now. I think Avinash, Panda and Marshall are possibly not going to get a good enough lap in.
Yeah, that might be the case, Lee. I wouldn't doubt that for a minute. We'll have to see how they do. Marshall is on a lap, got Avinash on a lap as well. A few drivers on out laps with a couple of minutes left. They've got plenty of time to get round. Do you want to put a little post out, Lee, in the Discord? See if anyone wants to just say about with Group A commentators as well.
Sorry?
Do you want to put a post out in the Discord FSL and link the race stream and say it's Limitless who's racing in it and Group A commentators? So yeah, we're seeing Avinash on a lap. He's trying to cope with conditions. The conditions are actually drying up, Lee. We might see actually some much quicker times at the end of this session. It's almost dry track actually, Lee. We've got a King Panda on an outlap on soft tyres. That could be pole position right there. If he gets around in time, he's got a minute to go. He's going to be cutting it pretty fine. He better not be cutting too many corners though to get round, which he is doing. So that could be a little bit of an issue for him a bit later on with the stewards. We'll have to wait and see about that, if he's able to get round in time. He is actually really cutting corners, but we'll go back to some lap times. We've got Gods on a lap, but they're all on intermediate tyres here. They're going to be able to go any faster. DRS is enabled.
Oh, so it did get lighter.
And oh, Gods is struggling, and we've got Panda on an out lap with 15 seconds to go. He's not going to make it. With 10 seconds to go, 9, 8 and 7, 6, he's definitely not going to make it. And I think we might have our order already, because these guys are going to be struggling on these intermediate tyres, Lee.
Yeah, Beckett's not. Beckett's still going. Carl's still going. Judge Santi's still going. H. Bosworth's still going. That's it.
We'll have to see. We've had a faster lap by the looks of things from Dodds. Just a little bit faster, was that? Oh, I wasn't too sure. I didn't just catch that. Got H. Bosworth on a lap with Mars just ahead of him. I'm not sure if they're going to be going any faster. Did you get that post out, Lee? Lee?
Done.
Cool.
Sorry.
Thanks, mate. So anyway, yeah, I think this might be it. H. Bosworth is second, Mars is in third, and got guys coming round the final corner, but I don't think they're going to go any faster. Just Santi does go faster, goes third fastest. Got Carl coming around the final couple of corners, and still struggling though. Goes pole! Whoa. Goes fastest for the time being, a 1:42.622. Does it almost a second faster. We've still got drivers on laps. Got Beckett coming around the final couple of corners. And I think this is the last man to set a time to see if we can snatch that pole position away from Carl. And he crosses the line, doesn't go faster. So Carl is on pole, and H. Bosworth, just to skip a place, may take that coveted, he's going to take that coveted third place lead. God's in second place, Josanti in fourth, fifth is Mars, sixth is Beckett, seventh is Rabbi, eighth will be Avanash, and Imarsh will be ninth, 10th will be King Panda Lee, and we're just going to wait. It's a shame about King Panda not being able to get round, because he probably would have smashed that lap time regardless, to take pole position, and may still have to check with the stewards after the race there about those corner cuttings regardless, I think.
No, I just got a comment here from Cons. Apparently I was the one that ruined his lap.
Oh really?
Oh, that's a new one.
Oh,
From
okay.
the commentator.
Was it a commentator's curse? Was it, Kieran? Anyway, see how you do on your birthday, mate. You're going to get a poll. Let's wait and see. Anyway, as we said, we've gone through the final orders. No one set a lap time on the soft tyres, even though you would have been able to at the end of the session. But anyway, we're about to get into the race itself, and obviously just finished up with qualifying. Let's hope Dark Stomper's back there to partake in the race in 16th place.
Sorry.
That's alright. So we're just waiting for the drivers to do their strategies, maybe tweak their setups, edit their fuel, all those sort of things, and we'll get on to the formation lap afterwards. So we're just waiting now for some of these drivers to sort themselves out.
Yeah, so what do you think this, how do you think this race is going to go? Do you think the weather's going to stay fully dry?
Well, I think it does. It doesn't usually change if it says it's going to be fully dry, so yeah, 16 drivers. We'll keep an eye on Dark Stomper to see if he's actually racing. He is racing because his wheels are moving. Avanash has joined the session. I don't know if he's going to be able to get back in his car before the start of the race. Let's just hope that doesn't cause too many or any issues for the start of this race. How do we feel? Got Judge Santi leaving the session as well.
Mm.
Do you want to try and send Judd an invite, Lee? Thanks. So we'll have a look at the tyre situation for you guys. Got Dark Stomper on the hard tyres, the only man on the hard tyres. That was easy to spot. Fatality on the mediums. Got a load of dries from 12th to 15th on the mediums, and Phoenix is the only one outside the top 10 starting on the softs. And of course it was a free tyre choice for everyone. It was a oh no, sorry, it wasn't. It was only a wet Q3, and we did see a slight mix-up. We've got Carl on pole on the softs and H. Bosworth on the softs as well, Lee. And if he gets a good start, he's got a good run into turn 2, I think.
Yeah, most likely. It's I mean, it's all about the slipstream. I mean, including getting that traction off the line. You know, the odd numbers here are on the racing line.
Yeah, no, that
traction.
Yeah, they will do. It's not such a big deal in the game as much, but it may make a slight difference. As I said about H. Bosworth being the first man to be getting that toe, it really could make a big difference for him. So we're about to get underway in a few moments' time for this 27 lap race. You're watching along with Limitless DxT coverage around 14, and we're about to get going. Please make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Of course, thank you very much. We had just over 100 subscribers yesterday, so thanks for that. Not had the channel for very long at all, so that is really greatly appreciated. And let's hope we can give you a good Russian Grand Prix. Just seeing the final drivers come around the final corners, with Dark Stomper just coming around the final corner now to set the grid. So we're not getting a great camera shot at the minute, Lee, and we will have a pause as usual tonight because Lee is hosting. I think that will be the case. I'll have to wait and see. Maybe they've changed it with a update, Lee. Let's wait and see. So we'll put the MFD graphic on just to see when we get going. I'm not too sure if we got are we thinking this might have to be a reset? Would you put a message out saying who is the do we know who it is?
Yeah, it was Judge Santi and I think Avinash as well.
Sorry guys, we'll get underway in a second. It's just Codemasters being Codemasters as usual. We'll just give it a few more moments and otherwise we'll do a reset. Sorry guys, just bear with us 2 seconds. I think we're just waiting for Avanash to leave and rejoin. He's left job, mate.
Is he alright?
Looks like we're going to get underway. I don't think we got any lights, so and we're away in Tuesday night racing for the Russian Grand Prix. And God's got a good start. Have we had a big collision at the back, Lee?
Yep. I have no idea what happened there.
Okay, well we'll just do a restart then.
Yep.
Okay, sorry guys, we'll be back in a minute. This will be the quali stream, and we'll get back to doing a restart. Sorry about that, guys. Back in 2 moments.